Hi, I'm Soph and welcome to my digital book journal. I genuinely don't know why it's taken me so long to start one of these. I absolutely love reading, obviously. I consume a lot of book content and I also work in social media, so the things make sense together. To give you a bit of an intro, I'm a social media manager, I live in the Midlands, and I am very much a mood reader. I love lots of different genres, but I definitely go through different cycles of being really invested into one particular genre. At the moment, we're deep in the fantasy era. We're deep into it. I've always loved fantasy, but I think the escapism of it at the moment is it's hitting different for me. I also love romance, romantasy, lit fic, contemporary fic, and for me, witchy books are their own genre. I know they technically fall under fantasy, but I love a witchy book and for me they're kind of separate. But as I said, at the moment, very deep in the fantasy, very deep in it. And I thought for my first video, I'd do a little recap of what I've been reading recently because I have had multiple 5-star fantasy reads. So I just finished Direbound by Sable Sorensen. I feel like this is the next up and coming book. I'm seeing a lot of people starting to talk about this. It's the next Fourth Wing, it's the next ACOTAR. I really believe that. I do. I loved it. So it's set in a world where there are the bonded, so those are the people that are bonded to the direwolves, and then you have the siphons, who are basically the vampires, and they have been in a war for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Our FMC, Marion Cooper, lives in a part of town where the children are being kidnapped in the middle of the night, and when it happens to her little sister, she decides that she's going to enlist in the army so that she can go to the front and get to the siphons who are stealing the children. However, she signs up right before the bonding trials are announced, so every recruit has to try and bond with a direwolf, and then they go through a set of trials to test that bond. She's not interested. She's like, besties, I just want to get to the front. I don't want to have a wolf. However, the wolf chooses her. And that is when we meet Anassa, who is her direwolf. Now, for me, I got extra enjoyment out of this book because I have a dog who looks like a mini wolf. So every time that they were talking about Anassa or any of the other wolves, I was thinking of my dog. And I know that is not what the author intended, that the direwolves are supposed to be big, scary. My dog is not those things, but she looks like a mini wolf. But through this book, she goes through the different trials. Obviously, there's some twists and turns. Now, I did guess some of the plot twists. However, the way that they did them made me still enjoy them, if that makes sense. I wasn't disappointed that I'd caught on before it got revealed. I'm really excited to see the journey of our FMC. Moving on to Payback's a Witch by Lana Harper. As I said, I absolutely love witchy books. They're so cozy to me, and I've had this book on my shelf a good couple of years. Ashamed to admit it. Don't know why I didn't reach for it, because I obviously bought it for a reason and then just let it sit on my shelf collecting dust, and I'm mad at myself because it was a 5-star read. And that's not the first time I've done that. It's not the first time, and I've clearly not learned. So there's kind of a similar theme in terms of the trials. It's more of a competition between the founding 4 families of Thistlegrove. Our FMC Emmy has left Thistlegrove. She's been gone for many, many years because she got her heart broken, and she also felt like her magic was not as good as the rest of the founding family. She didn't feel like she was good enough. So we're kind of following her journey, coming back to the town, trying to come to terms with that, trying to come to terms with the fact that she actually loves this place and maybe she doesn't love her life that she left in Chicago so much. And this competition between the founding families, there is the same family that wins every year, and they're also the most powerful family. They've got all the money, and they're kind of taking over the town and taking all the other families out of business. So the other families come together and they're like, we're going to take this family down. Not like that. They're not trying to kill them. That sounded like that. But they just try to work together to beat the family that always win. Also, if you're looking for a book that's got a bit of sapphic romance in it, this is for you. I highly recommend this. And last but not least, Lightlark by Alex Astor. I'm suddenly realizing that the theme with all of these books is that there are trials or competitions or something that they all have to work together to try and fix. I hadn't really realised that was a trope I liked, but I guess it is, because these are all 5-star reads. So the book is about an island that appears every 100 years, and the rulers of the 6 lands all have to come together to try and break this curse that's been placed on them. So the curse affects the different lands in different ways. One of them is that if they fall in love, they have to kill the person. One of them is that they won't live past the age of 25. I'm forgetting what the other ones are, but it's a really interesting concept. It's not something that I'd seen before. I will be honest, this was going to be a 3.5 star read for me. I was about halfway through and I was like, meh, I'm enjoying it. Like, I don't know if I'm sold on it that much. Like, it's nice, but it's not like, it's not top tier for me. And then all the plot twists happened and I didn't see a single one of them coming, obviously, because I was reading the book going, oh yeah, it's okay. Like, I'm enjoying it. Didn't expect any of the plot twists, so that immediately made it a 5-star read for me. Again, this is part of a series, so I'm really intrigued to see where the rest of the books will go and whether I'll like it as much, because I feel like I'm going to be a bit more on my guard. I'm going to know that a plot twist is coming. But those are some of the books that I've read recently that I've really enjoyed. If you've read these books or you have any recommendations for me, let me know in the comments, and I will see you next time.